Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Nine as always, and we are going to be talking about the PlayStation 5 Pro. Yes, it seems we constantly have this coming up over and over again since the release of the PS5, and it's seeming like with this piece of information that we might just end up having a PS5 Pro. Now, before we get into that, if you have not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. Now, let's kick it off with this source that comes from Tweaktown, and it's not a rumor. This is actually some pretty solid information. Sony is shipping prototype units overseas according to international shipment records. SIE shipped 1.5 tons of video game console prototypes from London, UK headquarters over to Norfolk, Virginia on November 16th, 2021. The ledger lists an HS code of 981700, which is typically assigned to video game related products. So this is a lot of information here. Obviously, depending on how you look at it, you could extract a lot from this. So this could be the PS5 Pro. It falls in line with the new accelerated ray tracing patent that we were talking about. Of course, you had Digital Foundry saying there's no way this is associated with the PS5 because the hardware in there does not support this. But this could also be the PSVR 2. This could also be the PlayStation 5 Slim. We don't know. It could be any of those products. And it's a real thing to consider when we talk about the PS5 Pro possibly being a thing. And the reason I say that is, well, we got the PS4 Pro, and we all said, okay, the reason, or majority of people said the reason the PS5 Pro came into existence was because of 4K emerging as a new standard kind of resolution that people just wanted, especially with the TVs becoming mainstream. The other problem was the CPU being too weak. So this was a thing that brought the PS4 Pro into existence. Now with the PS5, it's a different story. It doesn't really need to be that product that happens, but it would also still be a product that would sell. As long as the money side of things makes sense, people are going to double dip, like myself. I own a PS5. I'm going to buy a PS5 Pro if this thing happens because I just want the best of the best when it comes to the consoles, and a lot of people do. So this is not something that would not be a lucrative move for them. I feel like it would make them a lot of money. I feel like it would be a good move to make a PS5 Pro just to kind of keep up to date with all the hardware that's changing and being upgraded like every 6 months pretty much. So it would create that kind of half step in between console generations, but it also may not happen just because of the reason that I stated with the PS4 Pro. So it is definitely a thing to consider. Do I think that this is a legitimate sign of a PS5 Pro being a possibility? Absolutely. I feel like this is the most solid thing that we've gotten so far with the patent that a PS5 Pro is possible. We had those rumors on those alleged insiders saying, yeah, I got information, a PS5 Pro is a thing, or there's not going to be a PS5, there's going to just go to the PS6, right? We heard many different sides of this, but I think this is starting to give some legitimacy to there being a PS5 Pro. Again, depending how you look at it. Now, this is also possibly just looking at PSVR 2. We know that these units are being sent out. This has been confirmed that they are sending out dev kits. So this could have been from then. And that is a very, very real situation. And honestly, if I was a betting man, I would say that the PSVR 2 dev kits is more likely the thing that's going out. It even falls in line with the time frame that they sent these out to. So November 16th could have very well been the time where they were sending out PSVR 2 dev kits, right? So these are all things that we have to consider. It could be a PSVR 2 thing, a PS5 Pro thing. It could be a PlayStation 5 Slim. Who knows? Like, I think they maybe are looking at ways to possibly make a slim PS5 that is going to require, I guess, less components or less resources. I feel like the component side of things, you can't do much about that, but in terms of like resources, maybe a smaller form factor, that's possible, right? They kind of do start looking at things like that a few years into it, and so this is a real situation that could happen as well. But yeah, that's 3 different sides of things, and it could be some other thing that we don't even know what it is. So that's my take on it. There is the situation where people are getting upset saying, well, I don't even own a PS5. It's so hard to find. Or I just bought a PS5 and now you're telling me that there's going to be a PS5 Pro. Well, I would say there's a couple ways to look at this. Number one, I feel like you don't need to worry about that because a PS5 Pro, if it is happening, is probably not coming out anytime soon. Maybe 2024 at best, maybe even later, who knows? But I don't think it's going to be coming out before 2024. And then on top of that, you can still use the PS5. It's still going to play all the games. You're just going to get a performance boost on the PS5 Pro if it is truly even happening. So I don't think you need to worry too much about that. The other thing is, too, The PS4 sold way more units than the PS4 Pro. Apparently the PS4 Pro, while it did sell and did make Sony money, it wasn't really that big step that forced a lot of people or made a lot of people want to go ahead and buy another PlayStation 4 just to get the Pro model and just to get that extra boost in performance. So it's not really for everybody, but I do think it is a product there for people who are coming in later in the life cycle, or maybe they want to go and spend a little less for the regular PS5, and for those people who are the most extreme gamers, right? They really want the best performance all the time as long as it's available to them. So it's really just giving options, and it's really just keeping their hardware up to date, obviously, with all these games coming out and technology changing constantly. It almost seems like nowadays we kind of need that half step, even though I feel that the PS5 Pro is not necessary. Again, it might seem necessary to PlayStation and to Sony because it allows their hardware to keep up, and it also allows them to make more money, get people to double dip, get people to spend a little more on the hardware, even though we know the hardware is not where they make most of their money. Their hardware hardly ever makes them really that much money, as they take a loss sometimes they break even. Most of their money comes from subscriptions, so the services side of things and the games and the accessories and all that. So still though, if they can get people to double dip, it's worthwhile for them to do that as well. It's obviously an option. It's always an option. And for me personally, I love hardware. I love to see new hardware. I love to, unpackage that hardware, get your hands on it, really see the differences from step to step. Like, that's something that I genuinely enjoy, and I know there are a lot of people out there that do as well. So for me, new hardware, even if it's like a mid-step, is always exciting for me. I will always buy new hardware if it comes. I probably buy a slim PS5, to tell you the truth, just to see what it's like, right? And I really do enjoy having hardware. I have like every iteration of some of the consoles that have come out, and it's amazing because you can see how much it's changed. And also, if you're a big fan of the product, then you're like, hey, I just want to support the product as well. But I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you guys make of this source, this Tweaktown article that states these import records and telling us that there have been 1.5 tons of prototype consoles being shipped over to the United States? It's a very interesting topic. I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you make of all this? What do you think this could be? Could this be a PS5 Pro? Could this be a PS5 Slim? Could this be PSVR 2? Could this be something totally different? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. And as always, if you have not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos. And hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Links will be in the description. And share this video with a friend. I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care.